Okay, I got a cool video right here. We're gonna cover 3 different ladders. Let's hit them up here. We got Werner's Industrial 6 foot, 375 rating. We got Little Giant's King Kombo 6 foot, 375 rating, and Werner's other Leansafe X5, 375 rating. So we're pitting a standard A-frame fiberglass ladder up against these new hybrids. Let's see how they pan out. Put it on stun. Slow here. Okay, so let's talk about height first. Now, the traditional A-frame here, this Werner, hey, 6 foot. This thing isn't doing anything special. So we can come on over here to Little Giant. This guy here, you know, it folds out here. I got my cheat sheet right here, so put it right here. You fold it up right there. That thing has a rating, I think, not a rating, a height of 9 foot 11 inches. This one right here, a little taller. I do want to mention how it pivots. This one pivots here. We're down 1 rung on this with the Little Giant, so you lose a little bit of height. But this one right here, you're 11.5. You're a little bit more height with this Werner X5. All right, so let's talk about weight. And I'm talking about the weight of these ladders because, you know, towards the end of anybody can pick up a ladder in the beginning of the day. But towards the end of the day, muscles getting fatigued, or let's say you're a petite woman, you're not gonna be able to lift a lot. So the weight of ladders matter a lot to us, and especially if you're carrying it with one hand. A-frames, especially an aluminum ladder, that wins it. This guy right here is not bad, but these hybrids, they struggle because they're adding so many more functions to it, and it's a compromise between sturdiness and being able to give you the rigidness, all the extra functions. This guy right here, this King Kombo, I think it's about the perfect blend for weight for an interior ladder. So we're going to talk about an exterior ladder here soon, where I think the Leansafe maybe takes that. This guy right here is kind of heavy. I'll just put it right out there. We both, Harley here holding the camera, myself, and actually the electrician was over here, he pointed out too, it's a bit heavy. We gotta be honest, it's not something you're gonna be grabbing with one hand. I can easily move it, but it's a two-handed ladder. So if I were given points, I'd give both these check mark, and this one's, but you know, sometimes with as many functions as what you gotta add some weight. Okay, so sturdiness, and what I mean by that is how grounded a ladder is, you know, whether or not it's moving around. Your traditional A-frame, I don't think you're gonna be able to beat it. I just don't. It's got these mounts that are down low, locking this in together good and strong. It's a little bit wider. These hybrids though, they've taken a different position with them having a little bit narrower stance here in this Little Giant. That can fit me in between a 16-inch stud bay, actually 14.5 inch. So these are both a little bit more compact in width than your traditional A-frame. So that's going to affect how sturdy it is. And what I mean by sturdy is the height you can go. Now OSHA, or for liability reasons, OSHA and the ladder companies don't want you going past this step. I'm being sarcastic, but you know, one thing we've used this, you can see this right here. This guy gets used a bunch. And we have the 8-foot versions of these, so we're very well acquainted with this. The Little Giant hinges here, whereas the Werner hinges up here. Now, I will say between possibly the thickness of the fiberglass and the aluminum and how it attaches, as you get higher on the Little Giant, it does tend to not feel as solid as what this Werner Lean X5 does. So I'm just talking about in the A figure. I'm not talking about the extended portion. So I'll just be honest. I think if you're stretching it out, going towards the limits of the A-frame, trying to be careful how I say this, this guy's going to be a little bit more sturdy. Your traditional A-frame, that's going to be the most sturdy. And this guy, somewhere here, you're going to want to cut it off. Probably here. That's where they're telling you to cut it off. So, okay, one-handed operation. there's one clear winner here, and you're gonna see it. So I got, what's in my hand over here? Gallon of paint, whatever.
Yeah.
So drill. You can somewhat do this. Yeah, but that was annoying to watch. Okay, they have balanced this right here to where if you kick it out a little bit, and here's another thing too, I've noticed with this little giant. Let's say you got a drywall pan. You pull this right here.
Hold on, do that for them again.
And all you have to do is push this just a little bit with that other hand. And you don't have to, you can even do this. I do this all the time. So, I mean, this here truly is a one-handed ladder. I've never even tried this here.
So you can close it, but can you pick it up with one arm?
I guess you could do one-handed. I know this probably seems silly, but hey, I just ran this ladder for the last couple weeks with only one hand. I'm sure Harley's doing the same thing with his ladders he was using. So this is a one-handed ladder. This one here. All right, tool holders. So let's check this out. Now mind you, we're gonna get to this point right here. That's why we got this started from here. But we have what I consider pretty excellent tool holders. You put a paintbrush upside down, possibly a small pry bar, very large, different size holes for hammers, and some holes for different screwdrivers. Nice recessed dish for screws, what have you. That's definitely excellent right there. This guy right here, I'm not too fond of it, except it's got these slots right here. That holds a nail gun if it has the correct wire, a heavy wire. It holds nail guns perfect. Both of these here don't hold a nail gun, but we carry Martinez hammers. We can rock it in there, but it's so-so. Now you can pop this out here, and it has some screw holders there, but I'm not very impressed with the tool and the accessory holder there. This one right here, pretty decent. I like it.
Magnet.
Yup. Pretty nice. And this has a magnet in this portion. This side doesn't. I guess you could put will our pass load fit in there? I'm not for certain. It may.
It will, but it'll
probably fit. So I would say this probably has the best top on it. I don't like
one of the things that this has is a paint tray holder.
Yes, and there's no paint tray holder here.
I missed that in our other ladders.
Yes. So
shoot, we'll probably take a multi-tool and cut some holes in it.
Yeah, until you pointed out right there, I didn't even notice that. We keep this one here in the garage, mainly due to the weight of it.
Yeah.
If this was a lighter ladder, this would be on jobs more. But I like that top right there. Okay, so compactness. And what I mean by that is how much everything on how small a package it is. I'm going right to that. This is by far the narrowest. I like how it folds in tight there at the very bottom. This is what I'm referring to right here. Yeah. It just doesn't take very much real estate, and with it having that narrow portion right there, you can get into a closet. Let's say you can only get into the door of the closet. This goes in fine, whereas your other ladders don't. It folds up there, but just everything about that little giant wins on the compactness side.
Actually, slightly wider on the front one than this one.
Why this matters right here is for hauling it. Show the entire width of the ladder. It doesn't seem like much,
Well, you can see it.
Span right up through here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but for hauling it in your work vehicle, Little Giant's pretty decent that way. All right, so let's talk about the feet. Noticeably different, and the width of these things too. The Little Giant, these are the feet that have come on it, so you can tell this is not going to be very good outside. This right here is okay. We've used this quite a bit outside, especially the 8-foot version. It doesn't sink that much. I do want to say that I really like. I'm gonna get it up here.
The Little Giant is intended to be used 100% stretched out when it's outside, I think.
That's true.
They
That's true.
They don't want you in A-frame. I mean, not that they don't want you. It's just, they don't intend on you using that way.
So the back side of these pads work really well for a couple different reasons. So when it's up against, let me come up against that. I'm not gonna fully extend it because you won't be able to see it, but those feet work really well. Here's another thing too. If you're ever worried about slipping somewhere, see how these grab?
Yeah. It's because of the...
Oh, show them what happened. I forgot that I put this up. You can't lock it into place.
Yeah, so it's locked right in there.
It's locked right in there, and that ladder can't go anywhere
Right.
with that being locked up there. Let's come over to the Werner. Werner does the same thing, but it has very large feet set up for exterior. Nice and wide feet right here. They've taken a different approach on their front feet, but this is going to be a lot better for the exterior. The Harley's exactly right.
On the ground exterior, not so much up against the wall, because I already noticed a flaw with that front foot up against the wall possibly.
Yes.
Over the...
Yes, and I will say these feet right here on the Little Giant have exceptional traction up against walls. Harley brought up a point right here, taking it into this position right here. This starts to get really heavy,
Yeah.
folded out. I mean, it's pretty heavy. I can see a lot of smaller statued people having some issues folding it out. This right here is a breeze. I mean, there's no weight there. I think even the 8-foot version of the Little Giants feels way lighter than this. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Folding it out. But let's get back to the feet. The feet, they're definitely on the Werner are set up for exterior, out in the grass, a little bit softer soil.
Yep.
Dirt right there, and this a little bit more set up for interior. All right, so this right here is, this topic right here is considering the nose of the treads. Come on in here. This one right here has been kind of a love-hate because it has really good traction on these Little Giants, but this edge is a little sharper. Now, if you're like me and you're wearing shorts or what have you, and you like leaning your legs in there, especially if you're working towards the top, sometimes they're not sharp, but they definitely bruise your shins. The Werners, they do round the edge a little bit. But I don't think their treads have as much traction. This is the same way. They've rounded this. So, Harley does not seem to ever be affected by it. I'll tell you where, here, I got a ladder.
The only
back here.
one where I've hurt myself.
This guy right here.
Yeah, we both hurt ourselves in that.
Man, I tell you what, I have taken some skin off my shins with that one right there.
The area where I've hurt myself is actually in the bottom of this one. When you're bringing your leg up and scalping it on that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've hurt myself on the Little Giant.
So,
So
the Werner's definitely, I like that little bit of rounded edge right there, a little bit of detail. You know what, let's bounce right into it. Harley brought up that the Werners are not as of a polished ladder. And what he meant by that, he just brought that up to me a couple days ago. He said that he noticed that there's more sharp edges on them, and he's correct. Just if you're running your hands around them, this is fine right here.
No.
But up around here,
These steps are fine.
this is sharp here.
This is fine. This is sharp. It's this portion. These
In all these, this has a very sharp corner. There is no radius there. This is good right here. This is pretty decent here. I love the handles are near perfect. A little giant. I don't care where you go on this thing. I mean, this they took their time, and this right here is a for a contractor that's already been working 12 hours. That they're not prancing around a ladder. They're just trying to make it to where they grab their tools and get out. They already have enough cuts and bruises from just normal work. So the little giant easily walks away with the sharp edges contest. So okay, so we already kind of touched on this, but the ease of operation with these two hybrids. I'm not going to talk about this, but this right here, this mechanism. And mind you, I got a couple other videos on these. I was really concerned about this mechanism. I really was. It's not. I mean, we don't baby these things, and we've not had any issues with them.
It looks like when you pull these two together,
They're independent. That is one thing that concerns me. So this one here pulls over here. You're not focused, I don't think. They're independent, so I mean, I guess that it's probably good that they are independent. But so what I could possibly see happening down the road is getting one that's stiffer and one that hangs up, and when you go to grab it, and it will occasionally happen right there. I actually just almost cut myself right there. These lousy legs are so sharp. Wow, feel this right here. Feel that right there. That is sharp in there.
yeah. Probably take a Dremel around the edge.
Yeah, you guys need to knock that down. But if I just grab this and pull these in, watch these two bars pull out. Let's see if they pull out same rate.
Not even close. The other one didn't even move.
Okay, maybe I had it under. Okay, now let's try it again. Okay. So what I had to do is I had to wiggle the back to make sure there was no under pressure.
It's kind of like a little giant. You can't do both legs. You have to like get it just in the center.
You're talking about the aluminum,
the big aluminum.
But that's not the case with this.
So the little giant has this one continuous rod right here that runs through the entire thing. When you pull that lever back, as you can see, it moves. So that will not break over time. Yes, theoretically you could break the plastic handle, but this rod is not going to break unless you do something really stupid.
I was very skeptical of these little giants in the beginning because all I saw was this plastic here, but underneath that plastic paddle is all metal. Okay, so you see this right here? Well, that's for... Sometimes we just got to get the ladder out of the way. And it's nothing more than that. It's some cushion so we can lean it up against a painted wall or what have you. So I don't think there's a traditional A-frame that has that. No. This little giant
has the foam, you mean? Yeah, sure.
This little giant actually absolutely rocks. It has a near perfect rubber wall cushion.
I have used this on near white walls. I was really scared at first about
painted. Perfect.
I've never had it damage a wall. As long as it sets 100% flat, don't set it on there on an angle because then you might have issues.
I agree. This right here, I will say this sometimes it was a little difficult getting it in and out. But look at, we got drywall mud and all that around. So this is a dual purpose right here. So this is for an inside corner and this is for an outside corner. I will tell you that it works excellent on both. I'm just gonna throw it up there. I don't have an inside corner here to demonstrate, but it works very well.
And it's really sturdy.
Yep, it really is. I'm shoving on it pretty hard there.
And then there's stud in the center, obviously.
Yep, that's an excellent point. Glad you brought that up.
We did cover
That's
that
the width of the stud
in our
in the
bolt joint
original video. And we've used that quite a few times too.
Something that the Werner also has, I just noticed. Of this stud. Now for the inside corner, I noticed the Werner doesn't have a very good inside corner. It looks like it has an okay outside corner. Pretty sturdy.
This option right here, you won't think you're going to use it as much as what you do. Until, especially for you crown guys and different guys like that. I'm saying if you're working up a corner, outside corner, I just love it. I love the added advantage of these cushions right here. I'm not real fond of the flat portion of this. The Little Giant definitely has a better, I'm not going to be able to do it. This is a better wall cushion than what this is.
Sure.
But they show that this can be used on an inside corner.
Yeah.
I don't see it being used. I see it doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I see it doing some damage.
So,
but this will probably be my new painting ladder just because it has the paint tray mount, which is something that the Little Giant doesn't have.
we'll see.
So we'll see.
We'll
It
see.
is heavy,
It's
though.
going to be heavy.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather throw around. I think I'd rather get an aluminum Werner A-frame,
Okay.
something that weighs.
Well, the
very
good
low.
thing with this is you can walk up both sides.
That's true.
Which when I'm working in a closet. However, I don't want to have to work around those sharp edges, but
And you really can't walk up these sides. So, all right. Okay, so I didn't even bring the other two ladders out here because neither of them can do this.
they could if you cut the legs off.
What? So, you know, I'm up one step, and I'm up three steps. So that's pretty cool.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I'll put these side by side and see that we got a significant difference in height. I will say that these right here are extremely comfortable to stand on, and I'm assuming the Werner's going to be identical.
And then,
Of course, this is safe.
yeah.
I will tell you. Excuse me. This feels more solid. This feels way more solid.
I was actually going to bring that up. Just step on both with one foot.
Excuse me.
Distribute your weight on this one.
Okay, here we go.
I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but the Werner's flexing about a 1/2 inch plus down in the center. The Little Giant is maybe 1/8 of an inch in the plastic.
I will say, and it could be just because of how much
There's
this
a
being a little
huge
bit shorter.
difference.
But the bend feels like it's coming out of the mechanism. This doesn't bother me here. This this is a little unsettling feeling. This Werner.
Well, one thing that they probably did right with the Little Giant is they put the load against the ladder again.
We're down. Never mind. That's what it's doing.
The Werner is
I forgot
all
about
flexing right on this joint versus the Little Giant is down here and it's on the ladder again right here. It has that extra 12 inches of support versus the Werner is just freestyle at
It's
the top.
all on that hinge. So
Yeah.
So in conclusion,
Yeah.
I don't know which one to say because I will tell you, I'll be very transparent. We own both. This is kept in our garage and make sure that I can get attic stuff on. we have a 6 foot and we have a 2 8-foots of this outside of aluminums. However, all of our extension ladders, which are many, are Werner's. So I'm invested in both brands. What do you think? He's up there bouncing on them.
Yes, the Little Giant is quite a bit. It doesn't flex obviously as much. You can feel a huge difference, but will this fail to function over time? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna break or anything. It's really heavy duty mechanism. It's just the system for collapsing it is not as good as the Little Giant, but
Yeah.
as far as build wise, I think it's plenty strong enough. So
I would not recommend doing that with the Little Giant.
No.
You try it. But... All right, so last thing I want to point out is with the narrower front end of the legs right there, you can actually get closer to the wall like that. So let's say you see this grate down here. It doesn't seem like much. I'm going to set it up right there. Let's say there's a wall there. I come up and I'm literally, if I'm working over here, I'm turned sideways. It doesn't seem like much, but at the end of the day, let me show you this one.
you're saying your back, your spine is twisted 90 degrees.
This is
versus 75 degrees.
It's a little bit less.
But the thing is, after you work a full day's
it-
worth of work on the ladder, your back being in that position with a tool belt, your back wound up like that,
It's
those
another,
extra 15 degrees make a huge difference.
that's what it is. It's a little bit more, and I've really picked up on it, that being able to get up right up against the wall and turn the ladder a little bit, it gets the rungs or treads or whatever you want to say tipped a little bit. I don't know if you can see how much
Yeah,
more
you can see
pronounced
that
the
it's
ladder
it's
is.
quite a bit off angle compared to this one, and it's just, I found the same thing. It's a huge difference, even though it doesn't look like it is. It is. So,
All right, so boy, I don't think we can make this video any longer. I still feel like we're skipping a lot of things. This is not a Werner against Little Giant. They're just different styles, and we're not, I think both of us are telling you that this is a huge option. If you're working on steps, this function right here,
Yeah.
you've got to have that.
yeah.
If you're a trade person,
Again,
most likely you're going to want to
the
have
Werner,
both.
the Werner has two things over the Little Giant. You can board both sides. You can walk up this side and that side, and you can extend that, like you said. I don't look forward to using this system much more.
It's not. Because
it
I'll
needs
be
work.
honest, I've used this around the garage quite a bit, and this every time I grab it, it annoys me.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is.
But
it's-
with what the ladder comes with, you got to make sacrifices.
Yep.
So,
all right, let's wrap it up.
yep.
So count us to give you an honest review. That's why we need a thumbs up, a subscribe, and we need the whole thing.
Comment,
Comment, yep.
please.
Tell us which one you like. And I will say, as of, what is today's date? June 18th, they have lowered this. Both Home Depot and Lowe's have taken this down to $159, I believe. Wasn't that what we just saw?
Yeah.
Both of them went down to that. So this ladder now is cheaper than that, I believe. I believe this is still close to $200. So it looks like they just took this down $50. So I don't
Alright.
know if they're clearancing it out or
Buy
what
what
they're
you
doing.
still can.
So, yep. See ya.